There is one single thing that you can do that will get your team to buy in, that will get your team to work better with you, work better for you, get great results. And that's what we're talking about in this video. Welcome to the channel, Leadership with Mike. On this channel, I help managers become more confident leaders, and I do this with no nonsense sense, if that makes any sense. Now, before we get into the video, make sure you've downloaded my free guide, 14 Things That All Managers Must Know. It's in the description, waiting for you now. So, last week, I had an interview with Ian McLeod from Grow Up Leadership. And if you're not a subscriber to his channel yet, link in the description because you should be. Anyway, I recorded a podcast with him, and thank goodness I was smart enough to record the video part because there was such amazing gems in our discussion. And one such gem was talking about feedback. Let's jump into there now. What are your thoughts on the feedback sandwich? For those that don't know, the good news, the bad news, and then topped with a little bit of good news at the end. How do you feel about that?
I'm not a fan of it, to be quite honest. I think it's an old school technique, to be quite honest, that was used basically when people didn't give feedback very often, and when they did, they basically were just, it was all negative, it was all constructive, it was harsh. And so, people came up with this back in the 70s or 80s or whatever to create a feedback sandwich where you can make it, less harsh. And the reality is what all that does is just water down the constructive feedback that you have for somebody. If you're creating an environment where feedback is common, and particularly you are praising this person routinely for the good work that they're doing, then you should be fine with just delivering feedback. I think, and if you're okay with this, I'll share as quick as I can. The model that I like to take for feedback in general, reality is we all deliver feedback, whether we're in a leadership role or not. And there's a number of different models that are out there. Most of them all start with sharing the situation or your observation. I try to keep it really simple. So, once I've shared that situation, I stop there to listen, and I'm simply listening for some acknowledgement. And most important, all you're trying to get from this person is a commitment to resolve. So if you get that commitment to resolve that issue, then you stop there. So essentially what you're listening for is the person saying, I'll fix that. That won't be a problem. Won't happen again. And seriously, stop there once you get that commitment to resolution. Yep. Like, once you keep pressing it, if you go further, if you go beyond that, now it becomes an issue of trust. You basically sound like you don't trust that person. They don't trust you to be a good leader. So that's something you want to avoid. If they don't commit to resolving, then share impact. So impact to the customers, their coworkers, the business, their own goals. And if they still don't commit to resolution beyond that, you've shared that impact and they're still not really committing to that, then you just simply ask them for commitment. So I hear your concerns. I hear your side. I hear how that may be challenging. May I ask you for your commitment to resolve this issue? And that's the simplest model I think that's the process I would say to delivering feedback. If you're doing all kinds of other things, you're doing too much. So don't do the sandwich.
I agree with you. And that's something that I know I've heard on some of your videos. I know I preach about it until I'm blue in the face, but it's the biggest thing is having a relationship with your team. And like you said, my biggest thing is I worked with people, supervisors, they wouldn't say good morning. Like you're walking by me. I know you see me. I'm not a small person. Right. And they try to avoid eye contact and not say good morning and not say how you doing for no other. I never understood the logic to that. To me, as a leader, it is my job to acknowledge you. I'm not saying I have to sit and have a 45-minute coffee break with you, but this is a person that if without them, the job's not getting done. So I need to appreciate that at the most basic level. And then if you have time, circle back around how, you had a ball game this weekend. How did that turn out for you guys? Or whatever it might be, chit chat stuff, building the relationship. And like you said, when you notice something going right, thanks. Oh, that was amazing, because it's not to blow smoke up somebody's ass. It has to be, it has to come from the most genuine places. And then when people know that you are watching, because here's the thing, it is so easy for me to find you screwing up. And so many managers want to be that detective. That's the easy stuff. You need to make sure that you're acknowledging and you're finding and acknowledging the stuff that's going right. That's what builds the trust. And then when you circle around because there was an issue, you don't need the sandwich. You have the relationship. You've built the mutual respect and the mutual trust that if Mike's coming to tell me that this is wrong, that's because it's wrong. It's not because he's trying to make issues, right? It all comes down to people management and managing the relationships that you have. I think that's to me, that's the easiest way to do it. And then, like you said, when you have to give it, when somebody acknowledges it, that they made it, that's my bad, won't happen again, leave it. There's no point in beating a dead horse. Like, I've already thrown up the white flags, mercy, you know?
Right.
I'm on
I'll
your
fix
side.
it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was the whole joke in the office space, you know, with the TPS report cover letter thing, you know, and he had 6 managers coming up to him to talk to him about a cover letter. So, you know, it's funny because unfortunately it's
because
true.
It's real.
You know, people get banged over the head with feedback and nobody likes it. Here's the other thing. Nobody ever complains. Nobody ever complains for getting too much praise. Yep. You know, nobody ever said, man, this person's too nice to me. You know, nobody ever says that. Yep. I think the challenge is that people, and when you talk about somebody who's not saying hello, that kind of thing, people go into a manager position, and this is where I try to start with my training that I provide, is just understanding that people don't understand what their job is, right? They don't know what their job is. Your job is not to just, you have work that needs to get done and you're trying to apply these things, but your job is to support these people to do this work. That's your job. And part of that support is saying hello, is being supportive, is building relationships. And people don't, oftentimes, unfortunately, when I see somebody who's struggling with management and with a team, it's because they didn't even understand what they're supposed to be doing as a manager to be, or they have the wrong idea about it.
Okay, tell me that wasn't amazing stuff. Tell me that you didn't learn something. Ian is a wealth of knowledge, and I'm so grateful that he had a moment to share with me. I'm going to share a few more clips later on, but if you want to know more from Ian, check the description below. Listen to the podcast, also in the description below. But before we do anything else, you need to know, do you have the single most important characteristic of a leader? Find out in this video right here, because that's what we're talking about. Get your coffee. I'll see you there.